Fielded legislation that won't do anything, which brings me to the Rhode Island House Bill 5573. I would first like to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedule to be here today. We are here to address House Bill 5573. The tragedy in Newtown, Connecticut is saddening and horrific. However, many gun restrictions and bans that are currently being proposed would not have prevented this terrible tragedy from happening. In many recent gun attacks, the attacker obtains the guns illegally. Criminals, by definition, are law breakers, period. They are not deterred by gun laws against murder, rape, theft, or armed robberies. Therefore, they won't be affected by additional gun control laws. In 1993, the Brady Gun Control Act, which was established under Section 130, reads as follows: prohibition relating to establishment of registration systems with respect to firearms. No department, agency, officer, or employee of the United States may require that any record or portion thereof generated by the system's establishment under this section be recorded at or transferred to the facility owner, managed or controlled by the United States of America, political subdivision thereof, or use the system established under this section to establish any system for the registration of firearms. This is exactly what House Bill 5573 would do. Not only will we have to register our firearms, but we will also have to pay $100 per firearm to do so. This is a blatant attack on our Second Amendment and never not this happen. This is also a sneaky way to obtain more taxpayer dollars. Yesterday, I sat through a question and answer with the captains of the state police as well as the NRA lobbyists. As I sat there and listened to the legislators, I was amazed at how many they were uneducated when it comes to firearms. This was a chance to learn, and I would like to personally thank Representative Walters for putting this board together. I would also like to add that I have many questions about legislation, but I asked and learned before I support it. There were many uneducated representatives in there that want to try to take our firearms away from us. When you purchase a firearm, you fill out a lengthy questionnaire. You also have a 10-day waiting period. You cannot just walk to a gun store and purchase a firearm. If you do not register your gun, this bill calls for up to 3 years in prison and a $3,000 fine. Finally, if this bill was enacted, it would mandate trigger locks on every safety device to be sold with every firearm and be in use when the final sale takes place. This will raise the price of our firearms by the equivalent price of a trigger lock. Our main focus should be school safety and our children, not on our Second Amendment. I'm going to hand the microphone over to Representative Chippendale to say a few words, but before I do that, I want to just recognize some state legislators that are here that are on our side.
Yeah.
Representative from Portsmouth, he's on our side. Almeda, Providence, on our side.
Thank you. very short notice to show strength and support for the Second Amendment and to show our opposition to this particular bill 5573. You all deserve a lot of credit for coming out here. We owe you a debt of gratitude for coming out and supporting us as we work very hard and very diligently to make sure that this legislation does not happen. I'm not going to really get into a very long and dragged out explanation of the bill because everyone here is very educated on what the bill does. But I do want to point out a couple of things. As Representative Costa pointed out, there would be a $100 fee that you would need to pay to register each and every firearm. You would have to be fingerprinted, or you would have to provide your name, address, fingerprint, as I said, signature, just to register your firearm. I want to point out that if I were on the other side of this argument, which I'm not, and I were prone to using the type of tactics that they use, which I'm not, I could say something like this. This is an attack on poor little old ladies. And why is it an attack? Let me give you an example. An 80-year-old man who passed away when he bought a shotgun 50 years ago, bequeaths it to his wife. She lives in not such a good part of town, and she needs that shotgun to defend herself, but she can't get by. She's living on fixed income. Now she has to pay $100. She can't do it, so she gives her shotgun up. We've just made that person unable to defend themselves, which our Second Amendment guarantees us the right to do. Now, again, I wouldn't make that argument as a primary point, but that's an actual example of one of the things we'll see happen under this bill. It could be an attack against the poor, but it's much more than that. It's against everybody in this room. I would... who can tell me and point out one right we have enumerated under the Constitution or the Bill of Rights that we have to pay for.
None.
Name one. Do you need to pay for a trial by jury, Seventh Amendment? No. Do you need to pay to have to invoke your Fifth Amendment rights? No. We live in America. You don't have to pay to choose what church you go to. These are rights that our founding fathers articulated as self-evident, God-given rights protected by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. That's the key. They're protected by the Constitution. Our founding fathers had wisdom far beyond me or anyone in this room, because they went through it. They had to fight tyranny. That's why they put the Second Amendment in such a prominent spot in the Bill of Rights. It is the Bill of Rights, and the Second Amendment is very important, because without the Second Amendment, every other amendment are simply words on paper that we, the citizens of the United States of America, could not defend without our Second Amendment rights. So, absolutely astounded that a mere 60 days ago, we all stood in this room called the House of Representatives. We raised our right hands, and so help us God, we swore an oath to the state of Rhode Island, the state constitution of Rhode Island, and the Constitution of the United States of America. And those who have submitted it and support it, I would like to ask them, what part of "so help me God" do you not understand when you swore? show out for everybody to be here. We have a long battle ahead of us this year. We need to really keep our ears and our nose to the ground, listen to what's happening, understand what's happening, and make sure we contact everybody we need to contact. I also understand there are some other folks who are going to be speaking. Rep Canario is going to be speaking right now, and we'll yield the microphone to him. And I just one more time want to thank everyone for being here.
Thank you.
And the rest of the state of Rhode Island. I am a retired Portsmouth police officer, so I fully understand the issue at hand. The one thing we cannot do as lawmakers is have a knee-jerk reaction that's going to penalize law-abiding citizens. Is to have meaningful dialogue on how we can react to the tragic situations that have happened in the last few months. What I believe we need to do is we need to focus our attention on mental health as the core of the problem here and not penalize legal gun owners. Very serious situation, and I believe that we need to not only allocate money for mental health, but we really need to pull together to have a common sense solution to this problem, and I look forward to that debate. Thank you very much.
The other quick thing I'd like to mention is if anybody's heading south, we're stopping at Sonoma Grill. It's just south of the Quonset Point entrance, and we have our Oath Keeper meetings there every third Tuesday of the month. Anybody that's interested in signing up for Oath Keepers, I got a sign-up sheet here and cards.